LA Times columnist and a contributor to ESPN's Around the Horn. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. Yeah. Can the Lakers play an 18-game schedule?
What do you think of it? You know, the NFL is so strategic in everything that they do. The commissioner comes out and says, you know what? We're going to maybe look at preseason and maybe cut it in half here. What's the end game here, do you think, with the commissioner and the NFL?
They're just trying to make more money, right? They're trying to get more money out of the TV partners and trying to get money out of the sponsors. I think it's crazy. I think you're right. I don't know why the players would agree to that. I know you're saying some of the young players might, but this is how can the league claim to care about the players' health and then add two more serious games to this? I think that's absurd, especially with the non-guaranteed contracts. So I think it's a money grab, and I don't see. I hope the players' union is strong enough to say no to this. I can't imagine they would say yes.
How do you think last year's season by the Rams affected the fan base or the potential for new fans for the Rams in Los Angeles?
I think it did help. I think the way it ended didn't help very much, and it was like a lot of fans said, "Yep, see, I told you so. We shouldn't have been Ram fans in the first place." But I think it gathered up some steam and some momentum. It's still a long way away. I mean, there's still the third, if not the fourth team probably the fourth team in town. And so there's still, it was weird to see them in the Super Bowl, and yet they still got out headlined by the Dodgers, Lakers, and USC football. So I think it's slow, and I think once they move into the new stadium in 2020, it'll probably pick up and probably gain more traction. But it helped, but it's not there yet.
All right, let me get to the Lakers here. And, I'm reading your column. It felt a little doom and gloomish there that if you don't pick up a couple of free agents, does LeBron look around and go, wait a minute here? What am I doing as I want to try to win at least one more championship here? What do you think is realistic? If you're a Laker fan and you're listening, and what do you think is realistic that you can tell them that happens this offseason?
Boy, I don't know. You know what? Nobody knows because of all the upheaval and turmoil. Nobody knows. I think realistically, I know the Lakers believe that if they don't hit a home run here, LeBron's going to check out. And whether that means he'll ask out, or whether they have to trade him, or whether he'll just emotionally detach from the team and be the next 2 years, longest years of their lives, they're not sure. But they're pretty convinced he's checking out if they strike out. So they're thinking they need to bring in a Kyrie, which is possible, Kevin Durant, which is not possible, Kawhi Leonard, still possible, I think, or Anthony Davis. I think one of those four names are pretty much about the only thing. I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to do it. I don't think trading for Bradley Beal is going to do it. I think one of those four names is the only sure bet they can have. And those are really swinging at low pitches. It's a tough grind for them right now. And I don't know if they can do it. And I don't think Laker fans aren't sure they can do it. And I don't think anybody knows if they can do it.
Bill, but I'm curious about this, that I keep hearing people say, well, Kyrie could end up with the Lakers. I'm just looking at this from a common sense perspective of, okay, maybe he joins LeBron, but also doesn't he want the most money possible? Doesn't he want to sign and trade? If you're Boston, don't you want to do a sign and trade so you get something in return? And if you're Kyrie, you're going to be selfish and want as much money as possible. Is he leaving $30, $40, $50 million on the table just to play with LeBron?
Well, we said, would Kyrie leave an NBA championship team just to be his own man? He did that, right? So he's a wild card. We have no idea what he's doing. So I don't think you can say anything about him, make any predictions about what he's doing. And I think he realized on his own, being a leader, he's better being the second guy. And I think he realized that. And I think that's what makes the Lakers attracted to him. I think he realized he had it pretty good with LeBron, and he could work out here. And this could work out here. If he came out here, this could work. This would satisfy the fans. It would satisfy LeBron. They keep all their young players for a trade to help bolster the team. That could work. Kyrie could work out here. I think that's their best. That's their best option. That's their best hope. But I can't see Kawhi coming there.
No, I don't. I just think his personality,
right.
He can go to Los Angeles, but that doesn't mean he's going to the trendy spots. It feels like, he could go to, a drive-through restaurant or fast food. He would be fine.
In and Out, it's called.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
In and Out, right. Yeah.
But I also wonder with, then what do you do with Lonzo Ball? If you bring in Kyrie,
I don't care. I don't care what you do with Lonzo Ball. I would trade him. I would trade him for like a draft. There's talk about trading him to get like a draft pick or something and get another draft. I'd trade him right now. He's fragile. He's brittle. He has a lot of baggage with him, and he hasn't proven he can play in the NBA. If you ask me, and I think I don't care where you drafted him. Remember, he was Magic's guy.
Yeah,
Magic's guy. Magic's gone now. I think the gloves are off on Lonzo Ball. But yeah, I don't think that's. You don't think you worry 1 second about him.
The Magic thing, and I spoke publicly about it, that if you're going to have him on ESPN and talk to him about what happened there behind the scenes, then at least have the writer on, your own writer who wrote all of this about Magic. I guess I still came away saying, there's no culpability with Magic with what happened with the Lakers. I just wanted him to say, you know what? I made these mistakes here. It felt like everybody else made mistakes but Magic Johnson. What is your big takeaway from, his exit strategy?
Very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. There's no culpability with him at all. There's no self-revelation with him. He doesn't understand how he comes across. He says he loves the Lakers, and then he rips them, comes out in public, he rips them at every turn. And I realize everything he said is true. Everything he said was true. Can't you say that in-house? If you want to quit, you have to grab me by the shoulder and say, okay, Bill, we're having a press conference right now. I quit, which is exactly what happened in the hallway there. Don't you tell your owner first?
Yeah.
I just think it was disappointing the way. And I think the shine is off, his glow out here. I think remember, a lot of people here never saw him play. A lot of kids never saw him play. And they see him only as a businessman and as a failed basketball executive. And they think he comes across as being selfish. He's hurting the Leafs, hurting the Lakers, and I've written several columns telling him to just zip it. In fact, I thought I was on the show today. I thought he said something. You have me on the show because he said something else last night. Every day you wake up, you say, "What's he saying? What's he doing now?" And he's still. By the way, he's still consulting with Jeannie. She still calls him for stuff. That's the amazing thing about it. He walks out on him, and they still use his advice. I guarantee to make a big free agent signing this summer. He'll take credit for it, and he'll probably deserve credit for it because he's still involved.
But I would think Kobe would be my trump card here. Am I missing something on this, Bill?
Kobe doesn't care. Kobe wants nothing to do with this mess. He's moved on. He wants nothing to do. And he has told people close to me, I want nothing. Keep my name out of this. I'm busy winning the Academy Awards and Emmys and all that stuff. And no way. No, he's from the minute I spoke to Kobe like 2 days after his retirement. We talked about some stuff, and he's like, I'm done. I'm done with basketball. I'm out of here. And he's really remained true. He's more interested in the WNBA right now with his daughter. His daughters being basketball players. He is not. Yeah. Everybody thinks Kobe's going to come to the rescue. He has no interest in rescuing anybody but himself.
Yeah, it just feels like, these players today, they still have such great admiration for Kobe that if you could play that trump card, man, I would go to that as often as I could instead of Magic Johnson.
Well, the problem is, don't forget, Kobe was involved when he played in free agent, and trying to get Dwight Howard and trying to get LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
And he called him in the room, and he would yell at these guys. He would say, come to the Lakers. You'll never be me, but you've got to bust your butt, and maybe you have a chance. And these guys walked out of the room shaking and scared and weak, and they said, we're not going to play with this guy. So I'm not so sure, Dan. That's even if you wanted to do that, that's not really a good idea, I don't think.
But I thought that he working out the younger players. I was told that he does help some of these younger players.
We have not seen that.
Okay.
Yes, maybe in his private, we have not seen that.
Okay,
but he does. He is. He has. I'll tell you what, his image here has risen in remarkably. Of course, folks loved him anyway, but since LeBron came, they're like, oh my God, this, even more so than ever. LeBron is no Kobe. Kobe, what I'm saying? Kobe's mythology got even greater last year. Like, Kobe wouldn't do that. Kobe wouldn't have done that. Kobe's not that. So, even people who don't like him love him now. But again, the more beloved he is, the more he stays away.
Yeah, but they missed the playoffs the last 6 years, and 5 of those were with Kobe involved somehow, some way.
No, but this last year, remember Kobe? The last time he led them to the playoffs, he wore himself out so much. He tore his Achilles on the last day and got him in there and carried him in there. Yeah. And LeBron wouldn't do that. And LeBron couldn't do that and wouldn't do that. And that drove fans crazy. Fans, the last thing they remember him on the court is his 60-point retirement game. I mean, that was such the greatest ending ever. And so, no, he's like Teflon out here now. People just absolutely adore him. And that's probably one of the reasons he didn't want to get back into it. He realizes he's really beloved now. He doesn't want to besmirch that by going in there and scaring away some poor free agent again.
But do you think that the honeymoon is over for LeBron with Laker fans?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, it's way over. Oh, fans. In fact, if you took a poll right now, I would say a lot of them would say it's okay to trade him. And I've talked to Laker people wondering what would fans think if we traded him. They'd be fine with it if they got something back and got their franchise back, got their kids back, got their future back, got their Laker culture back. If they traded him, yeah, absolutely.
I was there, with Van Gundy. I said, look, I would really consider trading him. If I could get Anthony Davis and if I can get 10 years younger, 8 years younger, I can build some players around this. I can get rid of the circus, feeling to this. Man, I'd strongly consider that, Bill.
Oh, I think if we're sitting there June 15th and they have nobody, I think they've got to do it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody says, well, who will take him? Somebody's going to take LeBron James. Somebody will take him off their hands. They'll get them draft picks. I would do it in a heartbeat, in an absolute heartbeat. And Van Gundy said what a lot of LA had been thinking is that, and they've been afraid to admit to themselves that, you know what, this didn't work out. Get out of it early. The sooner the better. So, I think that's an absolute possibility.
Do you think LeBron ends his career as a Laker?
At this point, no. I don't see that. I don't see it. I don't see it working out this summer. I don't see it. They have to really make a big hit, and I just don't see that. But as with everything, you could be wrong because, again, you'll remember LeBron came here for L.A. He didn't come here for the Lakers. He came here for L.A., to live in L.A. And if the basketball's going bad, he'll just go play basketball somewhere else.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you getting
up.
You
guys are great.
Thank you, bud. That's Bill Plaschke, LA Times columnist and contributor to Around the Horn.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.